Hey, it's Chris and Luke back for the Tuesday Red Room call. It's episode 31, if you don't see that up in the title.
Woo-hoo!
31 episodes. It's cruising right along. And we are on the Phoenix RIA, the Viking Boys YouTube channel, Just for Foot YouTube channel, and the personal Facebook channels for Luke and I. Anyway, we were talking about evaluating properties, and Luke just asked me a question, and I gave him an answer that was way wrong. He asked me how many houses we wholesaled in October, and the number of wholesale houses that we wholesaled in October, I thought it was in the 20s. It was actually 39. And a lot of people go, that's a lot of houses, but
that's amazing.
It's all about the pricing right now. And it isn't about, it's all about pricing it right? So, whether that's a wholesale deal or a retail deal, I mean, you got to price it right to get somebody to move on it. So, most of your flips are up in Prescott, right, Luke? Are you still got some down here?
Yeah, no, we have 3 that are not. We've got one in Tucson, one in Mesa, and we have one that we are about to list over in Tempe, Scottsdale border.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, we just listed the one in Mesa last weekend. We got an offer on it, which was actually nice. So we didn't want to push it on it. We're kind of at that stage right now where what we're seeing with all of the properties that we have that are currently, on the market, is that it has hurt us anytime we've tried kind of pushing it. So we're starting to list our properties to sell, just meaning, okay, maybe we're going to be perfectly fine with making 20 on a flip and just trying to move it rather than hoping to get your 50K on a flip right now. And again, that's not how we run the numbers originally. We run the numbers originally to make, that 50, 60 on the property, but it is what it is right now.
Yeah. So obviously, evaluating the property, whether it's a wholesale deal or something you're going to take to MLS, is, I think, number one, look at days on market. No one used to look at days on market before. It was just like, if you're going to sell, it's going to sell, right?
Yeah. Well, that's because if a property was on for longer than 7 days, you're like, okay, what's wrong with this house?
Yeah. So, a lot of, and especially if you look at some of those outskirts cities, you'll see the days on markets, specifically, like Queen Creek, Maricopa, and Buckeye. Yeah. You're seeing those rise over some of those, I don't know, there's some of those Chandler Gilbert subdivisions that never get to 30 days, ever.
Right.
Probably even now, they're probably not. Over in Luke's neighborhood over there in Gilbert, they never get to 30 days because, such a high demand neighborhood. So looking at days on market and then looking at how you're going to price the house. I listed one today, and I just, for fun, just do a quick screen share. This is my first screen share ever. So this channel, we're not 31 episodes in. So let's go over here to Monsoon and share. And you see that, Luke, or no?
Yep.
So here you go. This cute little, you can see down here, it's 1,128 square feet. I bought it for $283 right there. Back in June, bought it at
238. You bought for $238, right?
Yeah, $283.
Oh.
My mortgage.
I'm sorry. That's what I was looking at. Yep, $283.
Yeah, my mortgage was $238. So I had to put a down payment on this guy. So how I would do you see the cursor? This is new.
Yeah, I can see it. Yep.
Yeah, so you can see this guy, same square footage, right?
Oh yeah.
This guy's been sitting on the market for $399. So I'm not going to use this one. You come over here. Here's a 360, and it's actually a little bigger. It's 100 square feet bigger.
Yep.
Now if you click on the pictures, it's not awesome inside, but it's also not terrible inside. It's not awesome, but it's not terrible. I mean, Saltillo tile, but it's got newer cabinets, stainless steel.
Yeah, clean but nothing crazy, not a renovation.
Yeah. So, but if you go around, then you look around and you're like, so that was a 360, but here's a 345 down here, same square footage. It's same thing, nothing crazy or nothing. This one is actually, this one's kind of a 339, but it's a piece of junk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's
not
not
renovated
it's not
at
even
all, not
comparable.
really clean.
Yeah. So, but I mean, obviously, you got this 400 that's nice and clean and pretty, but it's been sitting there. So,
Yep.
You don't want your house to just sit there.
No, exactly.
I mean, for this neighborhood to have like a gas stove and a double oven, is
right.
nice, but,
yeah, when you're in that price point that's sub 400, that's pretty gratifying.
But you just kind of look around and you're like, okay, here's a 350 that sold and it's bigger.
Yep.
And a 360 that's bigger, a 350 that's bigger. Here's a 353 that's bigger.
Yep.
So you're just kind of like, so I actually priced this one because it's a little cleaner. I did a full remodel on it. I priced this one at $359, just
okay.
$10,000.
So, yeah, so competitive.
Yeah, just to be competitive because I want to move the house. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't want to sit on it. I don't want to have a bunch of price reduction. Clearly, with that $399 active, I could probably go at $369 or $379.
Yep.
But
no,
that's not going to do any good. I think it just sits there.
No, exactly. And something else that you guys will notice that when Chris had that pulled up is that he's only pulling comps in the last 3 months. Because again, you can't look at houses that were selling 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago, because that's just no longer a comp. So obviously make sure that you're staying in that 3 month.
I don't look at anything really. Like if I can get comps from September, October, those are the comps I'm looking at.
Yep, exactly.
I'm not even looking at July and August.
No, I know. Yeah, we're doing the exact same. And so, yeah, like I said, the one that we just listed in Mesa, we did the same thing. We looked at, and actually, if you want, you can even pull it up, Chris. I'll give you the address so you can take a look at it.
All right,
and we can kind of go through it, and I'll show you. Like I said, we priced it in our opinion.
The address.
It is. Hold on.
You can just do it. You have MLS up on your computer?
1310 East Hackamore.
1310
East Hackamore. Hackamore. And so you guys will be able to kind of see, how we priced this one. And again, this one's only been up for, I think it's like 4 days now or something like that.
All right, boom, screen share.
Perfect. And so, so you'll be able to kind of just take a look around, what we were, through our eyes, what we were looking at as we priced it and as we put it on the market.
Nope, that's the wrong one.
1310 East Hackamore.
I pulled it. I have 2 monsoons open.
Oh, okay. No worries.
There it is. Boom.
Perfect.
Search. You can see it.
Perfect. There she is. Cool. So, you'll be able to see just some of the ones that are active around there. And so we had bought this with the intent of, maybe listing it around like 525 is kind of what we were thinking.
So you bought it at this 350 point down here?
We bought it for 360. So we paid $10K to a wholesaler.
Hopefully it was me.
It was not, unfortunately. I wish it was. No, so we bought it for 360. And so you can see, we were originally thinking, okay, 525 would be could be a nice sale price. But then obviously things continued going, in our opinion, things continued staying kind of slow. So then we started thinking 500, and then if you take a look at it, you'll be able to see, it's going to be much nicer than nearly anything in the neighborhood in the sense of obviously the finishes and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a nice pool. We completely redid it. It's new Pebble Tech, all new plumbing throughout the pool, new pump and all that kind of stuff too. So, and again,
check out that fireplace.
Yeah, I know, right? The fireplace came up pretty cool. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. What does it say there? 1850 square feet, right around there.
Yeah, 1841.
Yeah. So again, so we were kind of thinking, maybe 500 it should be around the price that that we think we could pull on it. And so again, like we're talking about, we listed it for 489. So I mean, we're starting to be really aggressive when we list properties. Where if this was 4 to 6 months ago, we're probably listing that property at 525. We're probably going to say, hey, let's try to push it. Let's try to, we're the nicest house in the neighborhood. So let's go ahead and try to push it and see what we can get on it. But again, that's just not the position that we're in. That's not what we want to do anymore. Right now,
so we had this 1600 score sell for what, 450?
Right. I think it's decent, but it's not as nice as ours.
Yeah, not even close.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's clean, very clean, but again, it's not renovated. And so that pulled 450. When was that? Was it August, September?
Yeah, it was August. So
right. So I mean, that got 450, and so we listed at 490. We received an offer over the weekend for 470, 460. It was either 460 or 470. So we recently just countered them back. So we'll see. There's a chance we might go under contract in our first 5-6 days on the market. Really just going to depend on if they accept our counter or what they come back at.
Yeah, so there's a 450 sold, and you're completely remodeled. They didn't even have new cabinets, and
if you go to you'll be able to see ours. We have a huge lot. The one downfall that we have with our house is that we don't have a garage. We have a 2-car carport where some of the other ones are going to have a garage. But again, ours has a
you got that big old lot right there.
Yeah, we got a fully decked out pool now too. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just being proactive and looking at the comps. I've been in this business a long time, and now is no longer. You can look at the solds, but now it's more of like looking at your competition and what does that look like.
Right.
Because that's what I did when I listed my house today. Is like, I just looked at the competition. Yes, there's a nicely remodeled for $399.
Yep.
Thing at $40,000 under their price, and they're not going to like it. I mean, I only paid $283 for it, and I'm marketing it at $359. But that's just, hey, I'll take my 20 and run, and
Yeah, no, exactly. So that's just what we have to do right now in this market with how things are. You have to just you got to make adjustments. You got to make small changes like that. I think and again, I think you have to be okay with understanding that the market's not where it was. So you have to be okay with taking a lot less on a project than you originally were hoping to get on it. So I've got a contract here. One sec.
Okay.
I'm just gonna hand
numbers. While Luke's taking a break, some interesting numbers from the jobs report that came out. I don't know if you made it.
I'm back.
He's back. I was just talking about the jobs report. So Freddie Mac put out a memo just recently, just if anybody read it. The jobs report we are back to pre-COVID numbers as far as at like 3.5% on the jobs numbers that we've created. A huge amount of jobs recently.
Right.
Obviously, there's some Twitter employees that
are going to be looking for new jobs right now.
There's some Twitter employees that are looking for jobs, but our job numbers are better than they were pre-COVID. So people are working, and typically another thing that Freddie Mac said is that usually the mortgages follow the 10-year, and they have a spread on that. Now it's slightly more than normal because I think they're just anticipating the continued increases and different stuff, rate hikes and all that. But so they're basically saying that they think with the job numbers, which generally kind of influences the 10-year and stuff like that, they're expecting us to be back in the mid 5s to high 5s.
So you're the second person I've heard say that now.
Yeah, so we're not seeing a break until probably the third or fourth quarter of next year, but they are saying, in a year we're seeing numbers in the 5s again. So if you read that report, it would say, hey, don't use a 7-year a 30-year product, maybe use an ARM for the interim if you are thinking about buying. I did see that VIP Mortgage put out a hey, if you buy now and it ticks down over the next 3 years, we'll pay all your lender fees.
Oh wow!
So there's some,
that's pretty cool.
Some brokers out there, bankers, giving some no incentives to buy now. And hey, guess what? You know, if it ticks down more than a point, we'll send you an automatic alert, and they'll refinance you with no lender fees. So
well, that's what's cool, is that they're getting creative too, you know, because I mean, it's like everyone else. When you have to make changes, that's a really cool thing that they're offering right now. Because I mean, yeah, you think about it, there's a lot of people that are looking to buy houses right now still, but then the interest rates are scaring them away. So if you know that, hey, you know what, maybe like you just said, a year from now, if right now I'm going to buy it at 7.5, but a year from now it might be a 5.25. And, you know, a year, maybe 2 down the road, and you don't have to pay any of those lenders' fees, man, that's a pretty good deal right there.
Yeah, well,
you're gonna have a high payment for a couple of years, but other than that, you know, you can switch back over.
Let's talk about your house. What were you going to list your house that you just listed? 550.
We were going to list it at 525.
Okay.
That one, we were. I shouldn't say we were going to list it. That was the number that we were thinking, you know, would be potentially possible, you know, when, depending on, you know, how the market was going to go when we purchased it. And then, you know, we knew it was going to be a nice house. And then we were like, okay, maybe that number now is 500. Right. Yeah. And so again, I believe that property probably still is around a 500 home, but again, we listed it at 490 just to stay, you know, we wanted to stay under all the comps. So now we believe we're the nicest house and we're the lowest priced. So that's why we believe we got an offer day one, even though it wasn't as strong of an offer as we would have liked it to have been. We believe that that's kind of the route we're going to go moving forward.
Yeah. So let's just say you have to pay an extra, you know, point. Let's say you get a $400,000 loan. Let's call it almost 20%.
Yeah.
To pay an extra point for the next year. What cost you an extra $4,000? You probably saved $25,000 to $30,000 on the house. If you would have listed that in March, yeah, you would have gotten $525 for sure. So you would save $30,000 on the house. You might have to pay an extra $4,000 in interest, which is, oh, by the way, tax deductible. So really, you're probably paying an extra $3,000 in interest to you. And when, you know, and if you refi in a year, you know, you probably give yourself a good amount of money.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's especially if you can refi and not pay those lenders fees, that'd be great.
Yeah. So that would obviously be a bonus. Obviously, if you're a fix and flipper, for the last 20 years, I tell all fix and flippers, the best time to buy is in November, December. And guess what? It's here because no one else is going to buy those homes, or very few people are going to buy those homes in November, December. So, you know, sellers will take less in the next 60 days. If they really need to sell, they're taking less. So
you just have, in general, and if you're wondering why, in general, the reason, you know, you have less people who are going to be willing to want to move during the holidays. That's a huge thing. You know, you have a lot of people that are out there that are like, you know, I'm not going to completely uproot my family right before Christmas time and, you know, Thanksgiving and all that. So that's a huge reason why.
Yeah. So if you're a buyer and you're a fix and flipper, generally you're going to get a discount right now because of the way the market is. You probably get even more of a discount because of it's holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
The big question is, what does January look like? Now, typically Januaries are strong for Phoenix. We do have 21,000 actives now.
Is it up? So it came up 2,000, huh?
It's been, but we haven't reported that. It's actually been ticking up. It's ticking up at like 200 a week or 250 a week. It's not on any kind of crazy pace. Mm-hmm. But guess what? It always ticks up in the fall.
Yep.
So anyway, with those numbers, I'm just going to give a little side note data for Airbnb stuff. I did a reel, but Arizona is the winner. They actually Phoenix and Scottsdale is the winner. They won for short-term rentals. We are up 47% from last year. So our inventory has gone up 47%. I don't think
that's insane.
I don't think that makes us a winner though. So
No.
for you Airbnb folks that watch us and pay attention to us, I can tell you my nightly rent is not, or my requests aren't as many. So I've been very diligent about those weekends that aren't booking. Typically that second weekend of January, which doesn't book very much. Kind of that third weekend of January, that second week of December, very actively moving those prices to a competitive, just because obviously if it's $3,000 or $2,500 for that weekend, it's better than sitting empty. So,
yeah, no, for sure. No, there's no doubt about that. That's crazy.
So yeah, just all the fun stuff that's going on with the market. But yeah, if you I'll put the link to that jobs report and the interest rates and that and some comments below. But definitely I think it's encouraging to know that they're saying that we should be back to a mid to high fives rate in in a year, but that still means we got a year to kind of
yeah. So the lender that I'd spoke with, he told us that he thinks that it's going to get back to the mid fives by like June, July of next year. So he said he thinks we got about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah,
but I mean, who knows? But
yeah, I mean, it's just I was just telling you what Freddie Mac says, but
yep.
I'm just reading an article and regurgitating.
Exactly, no, for sure. For sure, no one knows. Crystal ball, Chris. I want to see it.
But we got a. I don't know if this is a comment or is that on your YouTube channel or mine?
Let me see. Let me take a look. Dun, 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 dun. I should be able to be faster with this.
I can't tell if I should sign up for a mentorship. Been doing this 6 months and only done one deal. Looking at TTP, but was thinking I should get another deal first and use the money for TTP. Well, if you want a mentorship 3-day boot camp, I do one starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're interested in that. Should I get another deal first before I sign up? Getting frustrated.
Well, I think it just comes down to where you're at, finance wise. I mean, if you're in a position where you can afford it, to jump into a mentorship, and if you really do feel like you're struggling in a tough spot, then I'd say, make it happen. If you're not in a position to where you can do that and it's going to put you, or if it's going to put you in a really tough spot, that's really only a decision that you can make.
Yeah, so I encourage everybody to encourage everybody to kind of learn what they can right now. In my opinion, just because I think that here, see if I can get my computer to work for me. Because obviously we're in the down cycle of the real estate curve, and and so on the down cycle, we're hit the top kind of call it March, April last year, and we were kind of cycling down. When it cycles down, which just an FYI, we started cycling down in basically July of 2007. And we continued cycling down into early 2008. And then obviously the inventory just started pouring on.
Yeah.
I started a company buying at Trustee Sale in 2008. Now, the houses aren't going to go to Trustee Sale. Luke's going to swoop them all up with his team. So
that's the hope.
Because, everybody didn't have equity then. Basically, $200,000 house went to $50,000. Well, guess what?
Right.
$150. So it had to either go short sale or Trustee Sale. The difference now is everybody has equity, so they're not going to go to the courthouse steps. I actually pulled all the foreclosure data because everybody's like, "Oh, the numbers are up. The numbers are up," and I kept saying, "Well, that's because we've been in a forbearance agreement for 2 years."
Yeah, exactly.
So I decided to pull the data. I pulled the data from January of this year through basically October 1st. There's only 1,035 now. This is data is a month old. 1,035 houses in foreclosure are currently right now. To give you an idea, in 2009 and 10, there were like 60,000 houses.
Right. So it's not remotely close to that yet.
That's not remotely close. And we're 1,035 houses in foreclosure right now. So that's not even. And just so you know, when I polled the number of houses that were noticed, probably nobody else has done this, but I pulled all the releases, which means how many houses were taken out of foreclosure, and there were just as many houses that entered that were taken out. So they're
interesting.
So the door knocking teams are working hard and not letting that number grow. So just to give you an idea, the foreclosure numbers are still not there. So don't think your future business on buying a bunch of foreclosures yet.
Love it. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's if you guys got any more questions, feel free to drop them below. We'll answer them. We'll get to them ASAP. But I mean, again, I think right now it just comes down to just making those changes. You got to make those changes when you're buying. You got to make those changes when you're listing. You don't want to be buying at those numbers before. You're going to get crushed. You're not going to be in business for very long. So make your changes accordingly.
Yeah, and Brandon, if you want to jump on the 3-day this weekend, the 4th, 5th, and 6th, just DM me and you can jump on in a 3-day. I'll teach you all about marketing and cold calling.
Heck yeah. Chris, are you doing that in person or is that online?
No, it's in person. I'm filming more of my digital program, so I did a 3-day. I'm going to film it all so I can.
Nice. Heck yeah. Where are you doing that?
Huh?
Where are you doing that at?
Scottsdale and Indian School Road at a hotel conference room, basically.
Okay. Cool.
We have like 22 people coming. So
there we go. And what's the cost of that?
Oh, I just charge $297.
Okay.
It's basically, it's not really about. I charge money so people show up, because I got to print.
Absolutely.
I got to print $50 worth of books. Like if you.
It's extremely inexpensive.
Free signups and they don't show up, and I printed a bunch of books for free. It's not like I make a lot of money for the $297. It's more about having an audience and doing my filming and all that fun stuff.
For sure. You guys heard that? If you got nothing going on, those 3 days for $297, that's pretty amazing. That's $100 a day to learn from one of the best in Chris. So I would recommend signing up for that.
So any more questions? Anybody? Anybody want to hear about how to comp houses?
All I know is I'm gonna see Chris here in a couple hours. We're going to that Suns T-Wolves game tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Fidelity Title, for the
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we love our girls at Fidelity. Heck right. Yeah. Well, cool.
Yeah, if anybody wants any topics to us to talk about, we're always looking for topics, and we'll see you next week, same time, same place.
Guys, I'm going to try to fight Chris tonight since he's a Suns fan and I'm a T-Wolves fan, but Chris is he's got a little size on me. I'm not going to lie. He's got
I'm going to bring all the Cardinals fans, and I'm going to send a picture of that Viking shirt that you have on. There's probably some people upset about that.
No doubt about it. Well, awesome. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Yep. See ya.
Later.